Good morning and good evening to all of you, wherever you may be, who are joining us today, and a very warm welcome to the Partnership Days event of GFDRR, the Global Facility for Disaster Reduction and Recovery. We hope it will be an opportunity for you to learn more about the work that GFDRR and the World Bank are doing with our many partners to increase countries' resilience against disasters, which have been exacerbated by climate change. Now, GFDRR has helped shape the World Bank Group's support for countries to build resilience against disasters. And its work is now more aligned with our goals than ever before. With your support, GFDRR has contributed to influencing how the World Bank and its partner countries understand the interrelated aspects of disasters, natural hazards, climate, and development. Climate change is an existential threat to all of us, as COP26 has confirmed. Disasters triggered by more frequent and intense natural hazards don't just destroy physical properties, they have a profound impact on people. They often uproot families, affect lives and livelihoods, weaken health systems, and intensify conflict. Disasters also have a disproportionate impact on youth, women and girls, on elderly people, on people with disabilities, on indigenous people and other marginalized communities. We've seen this compounded effect play out in low and middle income countries, especially during the past 2 years as the world has had to endure the COVID-19 pandemic. For example, last year, the Philippines bore the brunt of 2 devastating typhoons, which resulted in hundreds of deaths, destroyed homes and livelihoods, and damaged key infrastructure, such as health facilities, thereby worsening the strains on resources that were already stretched by the pandemic. Now, the message is clear. While we've witnessed and supported substantial disaster risk management progress around the world, improving disaster preparedness at the same time as enabling better disaster prevention and climate adaptation remains a key challenge for sustainable development. Recovering from COVID-19 and living in a changing climate provides us with a unique opportunity to think collectively about how do we rebuild societies that are better equipped to handle multiple risks in a green, resilient, and inclusive way. That is why building resilience to climate change will be the focus for the first day of our 2-day partnership event. On the second day, the focus of the discussions will be on inclusive disaster risk management and applying disaster risk management principles in fragility, conflict, and violence context. When we aim to support communities and countries to build resilience, it's critical that all stakeholders have a voice, both in defining the problems and in shaping the solutions. GFDRR has been making significant progress to improve how its climate adaptation support generates inclusive and collaborative processes and outcomes, with the large majority of GFDRR grants including elements of inclusion. Now, as we navigate a world defined by compounding crises, GFDRR will continue to mobilize its cross-sectoral expertise, deepen existing partnerships, and establish new linkages to bring resilience to scale. Since it started in 2006, GFDRR has proven that its combination of both expertise and experience and the lessons learned through them, as well as its position within the World Bank Group, make it uniquely positioned to shape and scale up the climate resilience agenda around the world. For every dollar entrusted to GFDRR, the facility influences at least $100 in climate resilient development impact. And increasingly, GFDRR is influencing partner countries' policies through analysis and data provided by its technical assistance. Now, going forward, as outlined in its new 5-year strategy, GFDRR will focus on 4 priority areas. The first is to make sure that countries and communities have access to the information they need to understand risk, make decisions, and promote better policies. The second is to reduce risk by strengthening infrastructure, urban and rural resilience, and mainstreaming disaster risk management across sectors. The third is to promote financial preparedness to manage disaster risk and climate shocks so that governments have necessary resources following adverse natural events. The fourth is to improve the preparedness by easing access to hydromet data, early warning systems, and strengthening emergency response capacity. Two cross-cutting priority areas are to scale inclusive disaster risk management and gender equality, and the second is to address the disaster and conflict nexus. You'll learn more about the work that you support for GFDRR has made possible, but first, an important message from David Malpass, the president of the World Bank Group, who will talk more about GFDRR's role in helping countries around the world address the climate crisis. Thank you very much.